Yeah,
Actually,
I was stupid
you know
logic.
what? We never asked Texas Danny some questions because I feel so bad. So, Texas Danny, what is the biggest change to the landmass that has happened? You give great numbers. Give us some numbers on something.
You give great number, man.
Okay, I'm giving you the numbers. Before, just by happenstance, things happened in the prior life that you did, right? Like I happen to say, gee, I want to see how wide England is in miles, right? At the widest berth, across and that kind of thing. So I remember something like 455 miles to 485 miles, something like that. Now it's greatly reduced. The lower part of France going across from the Atlantic into the Mediterranean. Now, I didn't actually measure that, but I have a good idea. It's reduced, right? The Earth's landmass is being reduced. We are turning into a smaller representation, at least demonstrated on Google Earth and somewhat on my 2012 North American Atlas. So things are shown as getting smaller. My resolution, though, on other things is why is gravity, in my estimation, seemingly now still a constant? We're not lighter like we're on the moon, like we're bouncing around and stuff like that. So I'm trying to figure out a lot of things, but I constantly see changes. It never stops for me, at least demonstrated on Google Earth and sometimes on my Atlas. And plus, I can't get out of my area. That's a really weird deal. But yeah, the things that I see in the landmass, you've got things coming, Eric, your direction, right? From what I see. How fast it's going to move, how exactly it's going to move, I don't know. But you have, like, I'll look just like you're good with schematics, right? Diagrams, that kind of thing. When you look at them, for work, right? You undoubtedly did that.
Yes.
Okay. When I look at maps and stuff like that, it's simple lines. You see, you make your connection. Where is this? Like, just like you do with a number or like a highway system or, a town or a city. I look at that. Now, when Google Earth comes up, what does it do, man? Now, if I looked at it for a couple of days, boom, it's like it drops down and has like, okay, wait a minute. And I didn't dedicate my memory. I didn't study carefully like I should have, but I can still see, whoa, man, there's Palookaville is gone and now Hicksville is here, right? Or I could see the location of things slightly ever changing. Like Miami ain't happy unless it's ever so slightly constantly going down, right?
Yeah.
When this guy told me he happened to at my place of work, he went to the Bahamas to go on vacation, and he went into the Florida Keys to see Key West, right? So I always wanted to see Key West, but I know that this situation was going a certain way here. I was wrong on my analysis as to what was going to happen to Key West. I thought she was going to disappear. It went the other way, and now we have this Duck Key with Marathon in a different position. We have the Big Pine Keys. We have all these places that I wanted that I never saw before, and that was actually studying this place at the time he had just went on vacation. So boom, that showed up new on Google Earth. Okay, yeah, and I can see the changes as far as just like if you could see. Wait a minute, man. I had diagram line 187, and it was supposed to go down into 205 and VHS, UHF, whatever your designations were for when you read your route. I read the maps and the terrain and everything the same way, right? It's changing. Just like, hey, man, Seattle, it's inevitable. And I'm just wondering, how is that going to jump and come to your consciousness? Are you going to like see Zippo change? Are you going to like have a kind of an alternate view of things or what, right? Because I don't know, from Robert and his experience, Puget Sound was much bigger. United States Navy could come in. Robert, is this true from your timeline? The United States Navy, if they wanted to, could have come in on a parade in the Puget Sound, right?
Easily. Danny, you're correct, because we had, Eric, you remember we had, it was like a pirate day. It was Seafair. So Seafair came in and all the ships used to come in, Danny. Like you said correctly, military ships came in the Sound. Military ships came in the Sound. The reason why I know is because at the Museum of Flight, I used to be one of the guys that got to go on the Navy ship with the Museum of Flight members on a Steel Beach picnic. So they came in on the Sound. And they also had on Seafair, they had pirate ships, tall ships. So they would have a whole fleet of tall ships coming down there, man. And you see these guys dressed as pirates. I mean, it was a festival. It was awesome. And now they come out of my house. well, I don't have it anymore. I look down the street and I can see the bank on the other side of the sound, and I can see the grass with clarity. Bullshit. It was
I
a
look at the sound.
distance.
I look at the map of Puget Sound now. It's like, whoa. But then you get in that whole area, your neck of the woods. I don't know, like if what you see with Vancouver, British Columbia, right? And that's got some changes coming, depending on if the model all stays intact. I gave a model variance of 26% to 31% because I like the numbers in my head as to what could be loose out there, as to what some give, as to what the formula is going to be, right? But I can see it coming together.
What about this one, Danny? Somebody wrote, and Cuba did not block the freaking Gulf of Mexico.
No, they didn't
It
block
was just outside it. It was in the Straits of Florida. Cuba, like I said, you could see everything's coming up, man. Bermuda has changed. Bermuda's got that going on. And we all know about, I assume, the Bermuda Triangle and everything else like that, down to Miami, out to San Juan, to Puerto Rico, right? That all has to be a factor. I see the Bahamas coming up. And I see those tracks in the Gulf of Mexico. I see what's coming in your direction, Eric. Now, and Robert, are you in Manchester, England?
Manchester, yes, sir.
Are you? Oh, okay. Well, there's that's the UK's in a weird flux. Like it could do this, it could do that. But it's like seeing things go forward. The best way I could describe is like if you see the land masses, is if you could put a kind of a real solid liquid oil-like painting on water, right? And then you watch it kind of dissolve ever slowly and move, right? That's what the land masses seem to be doing, are the demonstration of them. And with the changes and stuff like that, with like where a road is, or like if
Cuba is bigger than before.
Yeah. In England, I'm noticing the islands appear, dude. And some of the and also lakes are appearing all over Ireland. Now here's the catch-22. There are people I know that have the effect, they convinced me they got it. And I'll be in Ireland and they're in Ireland, they're from Ireland, they're doing their thing in Ireland. I'm in Ireland, I'm saying, tell me about these fucking new lakes, dude. They're popping up everywhere. You gotta know. And they look at me like, what are you talking about? The new lakes.
Yep.
What new lakes?
Makes sense. My analysis of what I'm seeing, right, is the surface areas are going down, right, as well as the waterways, right, and they got to be going somewhere. Right now, some people say, "Oh, we're shifting." That's a possibility, but also the physical manifestation of changes, of a mechanical type of changes has happened, and the math adds up as to what things are doing. They can't possibly all be like Cuba. Somebody mentioned in the chats that Cuba's getting bigger. Yeah, because the water is going down, and that landmass. The only thing is, it seems like the timeline adapts to the situation.
It is. Danny, I don't know if you noticed. I'm going to tell you this because it's something you can look at yourself. You probably have already saw it. If not, you have. Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
Cable splicer. These are cable splicers.
Oh, cable splicer. Okay.
Just so people know that I know what I'm talking about, people. Sorry about that, guys.
It's the canals, Danny. It's the canals. I have been all over, and these canals are in the hundreds. They're in Paris. They're all the way up to Russia. There are canal systems I have never seen before. Everywhere you go, there's a canal system. It used to be like you go down like to Spain or wherever, down there, and they have the canal system, like the water, the canal systems, and up in Paris, and a little bit here in England. Oh, bullshit! They're in the Netherlands, man. They're all over France. They're all up in Russia. They're by the Kiev. They're everywhere. More canals all over appearing. To me, people here probably don't see it. All over England, canal systems. Beautiful. And I keep saying to myself, who the fuck built these canal systems? They're concrete. Like we're talking like undertaking, like the pyramid kind of undertaking with the concrete or the rocks, the distance. They're set up beautiful and perfect, and the way the rocks are connected, they're just perfect, like the damn pyramids.
One of my systems.
Go ahead.
One of my inspections of the UK, Robert, I went in there and I looked into the, I got my markers in the UK, a couple markers, 2 or 3.
Yeah.
And I went in there and took a look, and I did see, like, it came to my mind, man, where'd these canal systems come from? Yeah. But it makes sense with what's changing on the earth. It's just like, Eric, if like when you study, I'd like to get with you on the future if you'd help me out on this. Like, you study systems, you study connections, you have that like that. You still have classical mechanics that have to be happening on some level, okay? So why in the jumps, the shifts, or the changes, whatever mechanics, whether it's quantum mechanics or physical mechanics, are taking place, things have to connect A, B, C, D, E, F, G, right? So we're getting those connections. They've got to still be happening. But what I'm interested in, we're seeing the timelines adapt to do it, or the circumstances of the demonstration of the map on geography or the city structure, its infrastructure, whatever. That seems to be adapting and changing with it as well. So I'm trying to figure out why, because that comes into AI, that comes into alternate realities, that comes into everything.